Hey guys, Buffer Game back today, bringing you a video, and today we are covering the long-awaited 107 series of weapons, the AK-107 and the AK-109. AK not standing for Avtomat Kalashnikov, but rather standing for Alexandrov Kalashnikov. So this is a modified version of the 100 series of weapons using a counterbalance recoil system. We'll go ahead and get into it. This is the new aftermarket part here for Season 4, Week 2. And we'll show this thing off and both builds. You can make two builds with this, the 107 and the 109. So let's go ahead and get into it. Here is the 107 design, and you'll see why I picked this camo. I don't love the camo, but this is our 107. And then we also have a 109, which I'll show off quick. Now, I have a few different builds here I'll show you guys. So this would be the 109. So the 107 is chambered in 545 by 39 millimeter, and the 109 is chambered in 762 by 39 millimeter. And there's also a 108, but we don't have that in the game, and that is the one that's chambered in 556 by 45 NATO. So go ahead and back out. How do we unlock this weapon? Go to weekly challenges. Week 2. You have the JAK Requiem. So for this one, get you multiplayer zombies. Multiplayer zombies or battle royale. Unlock it either of those ways. Just the same old challenges. Do 5 of whichever one you want, and you'll get this. And it is able to be equipped for both the Kastov 545 and the Kastov 762. So let's go ahead and jump into it here. For the gunsmith, I'll strip all this down. You're going to start with the base Kastov 545. So let's let this load here. Should get the Kastov 545. Okay. So we'll go ahead and clear the camo. Base Kastov 545 or the AK-105. Shipping 545 by 39 millimeters. So first and foremost, the attachment. Actually, that is definitely bugged. Let's go ahead and there we go. Now, when I took off the attachments, we were missing the whole a part of the where the front sight post or the rear sight post was there. So now it's back. Now, the conversion kit. First and foremost, the JAK Requiem. So this is going to pros our vertical recoil control. The 107 series of weapons uses a counterbalance recoil mechanism, which is basically 2 firing rods which move opposite of each other as the weapon fires. So you have no vertical recoil whatsoever. So this is actually very accurate how they did it in game for the recoil. In real life, this weapon has 0 recoil. So the JAK Requiem vertical recoil is reduced to pretty much nothing, 100%. So you have no vertical recoil right there. 100% reduction, 0 vertical recoil on this weapon. And the horizontal recoil is reduced 73%. You only have 4% recoil. So this is, they did a great job with that, I will say. And gun kick is reduced 50%. So they did a really good job there. For the other ones, you have cons are bullet velocity and the fire rate, which is interesting. So the bullet velocity is going to be reduced by 15% here on the 107 or the 545. And the fire rate is going to be reduced by 4%. So it's going to go from 652 to 625. When in real life, the rate of fire for this is going to be 800 to 900 rounds per minute. So it would have actually, it should be increased. However, given that it has absolutely no recoil in game, I understand why they did it for balance purposes. It makes sense. So I'll accept that. We'll go ahead and select that. Now, for this weapon, you have typically what we've seen with this, a base 100 series buttstock. So we'll keep the base buttstock. 100 series grip. So we'll keep the base grip. And again, the 545 takes any type of 545 magazine. So in this case, for this particular build, we'll leave the 30-round magazine. However, you can still apply 20, 45, and the 60-round casket magazine for this particular one. Now, the underbarrel attachment, again, usually you didn't see an underbarrel on this weapon, but we'll go ahead and throw an underbarrel on here to try and replicate, again, more of a Xenogo grip. So the Bruin tilt grip is one that I really like. We'll go with the Enforcer, or any one of these works. We'll go with the Corporal State. We'll go ahead and do that one. Now for the muzzle. On this one, the 107, 109, 108, the muzzle was a typical 100 series muzzle brake, or a flash hider. So we're going to go ahead and there's no exact one, but I think the purified muzzle brake is the best option. So that's going to reduce the horizontal by 18%, so you're only going to have 3% recoil there. You can obviously do find some better ones as well, because this one comes with cons, but trying to go accurate to what it would look like in real life. You know, there's a couple different options. I think any of these ones here look kind of like a base 100 series muzzle. So we'll go ahead and just do the purified muzzle. But again, there's no right or wrong. Any of these are completely fine. We'll go with the purified break though. For the optic, now you typically didn't see an optic on these ones. Rarely, however, the main difference is you had a fixed rear sight post on the dust cover versus if we were to take this off, you would see it up front closer to the handguard. So that's one major difference for sure. Now for the optic, again, we're going to go the couple Russian optics here. We're going to go with the Russian flip for this one, which is that thermal flip from Modern Warfare 2 to counter-replicate it. It's going to be the Thermal Optic X9. Go ahead and select that. And then for the last attachment, again, this is all personal preference. You can go with an ammo type or a laser. We'll just go ahead and throw an OLEV on there for the heck of it. Now, the camo, again, like I said, the base, obviously, of that weird 3D printed part. Any desert camo just does not look good at all. Like the handguard, the 3D printed parts basically glow. It feels like with desert camos, any light camo, the 3D printed parts glow. So you really want to go with a darker camo. The problem with the 545 version is though the solids don't cover. There was a bug or something reverted in Modern Warfare 2. It used to cover the whole weapon, and then something happened where it doesn't cover the grip and the buttstock, the base versions of those attachments. So it really ruins how the weapon looks. So you really need to go with an alternative option. So for that, if we go to all camos, all unlocked, again, there's a bunch of different options here. I don't remember what I'm using in the gameplay, but I've only ever seen the 107 series in black. There's a couple ones here that kind of look like that. I mean, this one here, the Magma Digital, is not bad. It's a good dark option. And then I think the one I went with at the start of the video was this one here. So for the heck of it, just for this video, the thumbnail may be different, but we'll go with the Magma Digital. I think is a closest option we get to a solid black, honestly. So we'll go with that. So that's our AK-107. Okay, so this is the 107 build. And you can see the extended gas tube there on top of the barrel, and that's part of the counterbalance. So the gas tube is extended there, and again, you have two firing rods, so one is moving opposite of the other, and that's where the other one is that extended gas tube moves that second firing rod, and they move opposite of each other for zero recoil. So that's how this weapon works. It's very advanced. Not a lot is really known about it because really I think Larry Vickers is the only U.S. citizen who's ever had hands-on with the actual 107. I'll try and link that video down below if you guys are interested. Here's the 109. Again, this is just the Kastov 762. Very similar attachments. Purified muzzle brake. We're obviously running the JAK Requiem conversion kit. Bruin tilt, laser, and then we're going to run the Kairos Hollow, which is that Russian hollow sight. And this is the 109 chambered in 762 by 39 millimeters. So like I said, if you look at it, the base 100 series stock, grip, and this being the 109, it's chambered in 762 by 39, so you have the more curved magazine. And then you also have the same firing controls. However, in real life, the dust cover is different. It's kind of on a hinge system. It's not removed from this press down button here that you see. And then also you have the handguard is correct with that extended gas block or gas tube there for that second firing rod, which moves counter to the main firing rod, and therefore you have zero recoil. So that's the 109. Firing controls are the same. And this one obviously has a pick rail on there. Now, really quick, just some more like Warzone-esque builds that I would use if I were still playing Warzone. I'd be running something like the Zenith Compensator, okay? Zenith Comp, or even the Cassius Brake would probably be an even better option. So you'd run like the Cassius Brake, the Bruin Support Grip, any optic of your choice, 60 round casket, and then the Requiem for the 105. And then for the 109, I'm running pretty similar. Cassius brake, Bruin, 40 round mag, the Intless LSJ3, and the JAK Requiem. So you'll see gameplay with these as well. Now, also really quick, the sport version of this, which is used for competitive shooting by Saiga, is the MK-107. This is kind of that here, utilizing, you can build this with the 109 or the 107, utilizing some of the attachments so we can actually put it in black. I think the muzzle's fine, everything there is fine. Typically, any optic zoomed out because you're doing competitive shooting. The FTech Elite stock, we're going to use just any grip here so we can have a black camo. And then a 60 round casket again so we can have a black camo. So that'll give us, and I think if I revert that, yeah, okay. So we can actually do a 30 round mag with the black camo. So this would be the MK-107 from Saiga right here. This is the competitive semi-automatic only version of the 107, modernized version used for competitive shooting. So this is that weapon right there. And again, you do have a full-length pick rail on top. So this is pretty accurate, except this one does come in full auto here in the game. But those are the weapons. Let's go ahead and jump into the firing range and take a look at all of these really quick. Then we'll jump into the gameplay. So the 107, again, this is the more real-life accurate 107 that we looked at to begin with. Chambered in 5.45 by 39 millimeter. Again, 0 vertical recoil. Ready? I am not going to touch it at all and just pull the trigger. So it almost has like... It's really hard to get used to, honestly, because it actually does not have recoil. So where you're aiming is exactly where the bullets are going to go. You only have a little bit of horizontal, and that's it. The 109 is going to be the same thing. No recoil on this thing whatsoever. And again, that's accurate to real life. So the fact that they didn't include the increased rate of fire makes sense to me because it would just be way too overpowered. So shooting this thing, check out that recoil. I'm not touching my... I'm on the controller here. I'm not touching my sticks whatsoever. No need to even try and control it because it's already controlled. So the 109... Again, not touching the sticks at all there. That's even more accurate, which is pretty wild. So that's that one. Let's check the Warzone type builds again. No recoil. In this one, we have the Cassius brake, so the horizontal recoil should be even more reduced. That's the 107, the 109. And you'll see all these in the gameplay. So let's check the 109. 762 by 39. Dead accurate with the 107. Again, dead accurate. Now, really quick, let's check the Saiga MK-107. Again, it's the same AK inspect that we've seen. I don't think there's any difference there. Now, again, this would be semi-auto. But why run it in semi-auto when there's already no recoil? Now, I was hoping it was available for the RPD, but it is not. So, here's the recoil on the Saiga MK-107. Again, it's a little bit more because we don't have any muzzle attachment on there, but again, still just crazy. Take a look at the inspect here one more time, then we'll jump into the gameplay. The AK-107. Really nice weapon. Jump into the gameplay here. Again, we're just using it in multiplayer here against bots. Using all the builds you just saw, minus the MK-107. I didn't use that Saiga version of the weapon in the gameplay. But it is a really good gun. And again, there's not really a lot known about it in the United States. Like I said, I think the only American citizen that's had hands-on with this is Larry Vickers. I will link that video down below if it's still on YouTube for you guys. But again, a quick YouTube search, you'll see it. And he's done a couple times firing with this thing, and again, it does not have recoil. So it's not like they just made an overpowered gun here with no recoil. I think they did a good job of balancing it with not increasing the rate of fire like it should be. The rate of fire should be 800 to 900 rounds per minute with 0 recoil. So that would obviously be a problem for gameplay balance purposes. But again, the fact that it has no recoil, you always say, oh, that gun has no recoil, that gun's broken. This gun has no recoil. So it's hard to argue with that because that's how it is in real life. So I do appreciate that they did this. I've been asking for this series of weapons, the 107, 108, 109, the 107 platform, since Modern Warfare 2019. So it's really good to see that they did add it. Now again, this is a Russian assault rifle. Place of origin was the Soviet Union, now Russia. It's been in service since 2010 through present, but again, that's only as a sporting rifle. I haven't seen any like this being used in actual warfare. It was too expensive, which is why it was not adopted. And it was the AK-74 was selected over this weapon. So the designer is Youriy Alexandrov, which is why AK does not stand for Avtomat Kalashnikov. It stands for Alexandrov Kalashnikov because it is a modified version of the Kalashnikov-pattern weapons from the 100 series, using Alexandrov's modified AL-7 counterbalance recoil design. So production was 1994 through present, but the design took place in the 1990s, so it was right around the Soviet Union collapse, right before, right after. The mass of the weapon is 8.38 pounds. The length is 37.1 inches with the stock extended. Again, you do have a folding stock option, so that would reduce it by 10 inches to 27 inches. Barrel length is going to be 16.3 inches, and again, the cartridge is going to be the 107 in 545 by 39, 108 in 556 by 45, and the 109 in 762 by 39 millimeter. The muzzle velocity for the 107 would be 900 meters per second, or 2,953 feet per second. It's going to be relatively similar with the 108 and 556, and the 109 is going to be a little bit reduced at 750 meters per second, or 2,460 feet per second, with that larger 762 by 39 caliber weapon. The effective firing range is going to be 500 meters or 550 yards, with the maximum firing range at 800 meters or 870 yards. The rate of fire again is going to be 850 with the 107 and 900 with the 108. I don't actually believe the 109 was ever produced. I don't know of, nor have I seen a 109. I have seen the 107s and 108s, so I don't know if the 109 was actually ever produced. I'm sure there was some concept designs that they made, but I haven't ever seen them. But I'm sure they had some. And again, if this pattern of weapon was adopted over the 74M, they would have obviously produced those versions of the weapon. So the magazine capacity is 30-round magazine, or you take a 60-round AK-200 casket magazine. That would obviously differ slightly for the 109 in that larger caliber. And the sights are a protected front post with a rear V-notch sight. So again, the difference that we discussed between where the rear sight is on the standard AK-74, AK-47, AKM, AK-100 series versus the 107 series of weapons is different. So that's a increase. You do have the dovetail mount on the original 107, so you can mount optics same way you would with any 74. And obviously later versions came with, they also had the Picatinny rail on top, so you could do that as well. It is a really nice revolutionary design using the counterbalance recoil system. Like I said, you had two operating rods which moved with the gas as the round is fired, and then you had the gas which moved that second operating rod, and they moved opposite of each other to completely negate recoil. So it's a really cool design. It was later modified, very similar to AEK-971, and again, very similar, later modified for the AN-94 as well. And you see the AEK-971 today as the A545, which is being used in combat with a very similar counterbalance recoil system. So let me know your thoughts down below. Again, this is the AK-107 and 109 pattern of weapons, that AK-107 series here with this new aftermarket part. Let me know your thoughts down below. Really happy to see this in game finally. If you're liking the content, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of variety of content here on the channel now that we've upgraded the PC, so we have a lot of stuff coming. Black Ops 6 is around the corner, Coming on the 9th, we have the reveal, trailers, all that stuff. Delta Force right around the corner. There's a lot of stuff coming, so if you're enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe to the channel. There is memberships available down below. There's a join button there, as well as merchandise also down below. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Until next time, Buffner Gaming, out.
I'm taking fire! Reloading! Changing mag! Target marked! Request fire!